I'll get you, my pretty. And your little fry, too.
Hey y'all, glad you're back with us on another episode of The Twitching Hour. What's new with you, Danny boy?
I want to dredge up the forward-facing sonar debate today, and I want to share a few things that led me to want to do this.
Sounds like you've got a lot on your mind, which is highly unusual.
Very funny, Mr. Victoria's Secret. Yes, I do. Before we get started today, if this is your first time here, you may feel like you've walked into the middle of something. That's because they have. Some of this may make more sense if you've seen earlier episodes. But not all of it. Some of it barely makes sense to me. That part is unfortunately true. Dude, have you seen the last couple of videos from Real Creative Studios? Not since that Top Gun meets bass fishing video out told me about. What does that have to do with forward-facing sonar? I'm getting to that. Let me explain. So the first one has an America's Got Talent thing going on beneath Lake Okeechobee, where the judges and contestants are human-fish hybrids, but that's not the one I'm talking about. What? Dude, that's bizarre, but what concerns me is that that's not the one you want to talk about. So, we all know how controversial forward-facing sonar is, right?
To some, yeah, so.
As goofy as this is going to sound, the most recent video has a bass impersonating Elvis Presley singing about how much fish hate forward-facing sonar.
What? Danny boy, I think you've lost it.
Check this out. Listen to the lyrics.
They can take their garment, shove it, you know where. It ain't a sport no more. It just ain't fair. Can't hide no more. Is this now our plight? I say, screw 'em all. Come on, let's fight. Let's fight. Everybody, let's fight. Everybody in the whole dang lake now knows those lures are fake. We know those lures are fake. We know those lures are fake. We know those lures are fake.
Sounds like they're a little pissed off.
Exactly, that's my point. It made me pause and think about it.
Think about what? Forward-facing sonar? Danny, fish don't have feelings. They don't think or reason.
You're so gullible, I swear. All I'm saying is that if I were a fish, I'd probably feel the same way, and it's just downright fun to watch. It's certainly creative, I'll give you that. Exactly. That's also my point. My wife and kid love watching that stuff, and anytime we can get the whole family enjoying something together, I'm all in on it.
You make a good point. I guess I should see if my kids would like this stuff too. But there's more. I came across some older similar music videos about forward-facing sonar from the fish's perspective as well. Check these out.
Lord, tell me why these fishermen just won't leave us alone. Our underwater world is supposed to be our home. Thank you, Lawrence, Garmin and Hummingbird. I hope you're doing well. But if I ever catch up with just one of you, you'll get a taste of hell. I promise you. How dare you come into my world and invade my private space with all your fancy electronics, throwing lures in my face.
I suppose the next thing you're going to tell me is that the last bass you caught gave you a CD.
Ha ha ha, you're wrong.
It was an MP3. No, in all seriousness, forward-facing sonar has been a major disruptor in what is supposed to be a sport. For sure, it is a phenomenal technology that has both launched and ended careers. I can't believe I'm saying this, but as those singing fish alluded to, thanks to FFS, we are able to cast to fish that we never would have known were there, leaving them with no place to hide. But that's what we humans do. We identify problems and create solutions. And I know what you're going to say next, but at what price, right? Well, like that fish said, it ain't a sport no more. Once you remove the mystery and mystique of casting into the unknown, you've essentially made it into something else. What? I don't know. But as long as FFS is allowed in tournaments, the wins, the trophies, the money, none of it was earned by using FFS. And so if no one respects you for winning, what have you really accomplished? I can tell you one thing, I don't respect those who win by using it as much as I respect those who win without it. To me, That's the bigger issue. We're looking at the loss of respect for our sport, if we should even be calling it that anymore.
Gracious. Careful, buddy. Your sponsor might not love where you're going with this.
Hey, I love my live scope. It's incredible technology, and it's helped me understand fish behavior and debunk a few long-held myths along the way. I can promote the technology just fine without pretending it should be allowed to wreak havoc on the sport I love. According to the rules, FFS may not be cheating, but it is cheating the true nature of what tournaments are supposed to be. Danny boy, I gotta say, you've got your head on straight today. That seems to be the biggest gripe these days about FFS, and that's why BASS and MLF and others have limited its use. But is what they're doing enough to save the reputation, not only of the sport, but of the anglers who win? Do you feel like people are no longer looking up to the pros as much as they used to? Well, take expos and seminars, for example. If you want to learn when, where, and how to catch fish, who would you rather listen to? A veteran like Shaw Grigsby or Gary Klein, or some young gun who spends all day staring at a screen? I never considered that, and I totally get your point. Wow, Danny, you're on fire today. When you put on jerseys like the ones we're wearing and compete for money and prestige, you should have developed the angling skills that make you worthy of the term professional. You cannot legitimately compare the skill of casting to a fish you see on a screen to the skill of understanding when and where fish should be at any given time and being able to catch them at any given time. It's not the same thing, and it cheapens the profession. Let me wrap my head around your argument for a second. So what you're saying is that individual knowledge and skills are no longer as important or are no longer the advantage they used to be. But is that really true? Yes, it is true, and that is exactly why FFS use has been curtailed to some extent, to try and level the playing field somewhat, to give those who use it and those who don't an equal amount of time to use those different skill sets. But that's not the right answer.
Why isn't that enough? Doesn't it level the playing field somewhat?
All sports have attempted to create a so-called level playing field through salary caps and whatnot, but that's an illusion. Imagine letting golfers use special clubs and special balls on par 5 holes just so they can reach the green in one shot. Does that make the sport better? No, it would cheapen it. Okay, that's a fair comparison, but every generation of fishermen have enjoyed some measure of new technology like flashers, charts, GPS, power poles, spot lock, and so why should FFS all of a sudden be considered a bad thing? You're right, anglers have always been able to capitalize on advances in tech, but that tech has always been focused on finding fish, not catching them. So I have an idea that relegates FFS to that same usage without banning it at all. Well, I am all ears. What's your big idea, Danny? It's really simple. Allow the use of FFS for locating fish, but it must be off before you pick up a fishing rod. That way it becomes the next natural advance in fishing electronics without it being used to actually catch fish. Danny, I'm crunching that idea around in my brain, but at face value, that seems to make sense. You must have been up all night thinking that up. We used to idle over a point or a hump or a ledge with traditional electronics. Now we can do it more effectively with FFS. So let's leave it at that. And let's get back to sportsmanlike fishing instead of video game fishing. That's all I'm saying. Danny, the more I think about it, the more I like it. That is by far the best idea I've heard yet. Way to go, buddy. You might have just saved professional fishing. I just hope that this kind of thinking catches on because we need to get back to what made this sport great and what made the legends, the kind of success stories worthy of our respect. This was a good debate, and I think Danny's idea has some serious merit. Let us know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching this episode of The Twitching Hour. Good night, y'all. And oh, by the way, stay close to your phone. I'm expecting a call tonight about the brew. Oh, brother, here we go.
Woo!